Welcome back to Old School Sports and our Out of the Park Baseball 24 playthrough of the Buffalo Wings. We are getting ready for opening day of the 2031 season in a bit better financial position than in previous years after a very busy offseason. Ended up increasing our scouting budget by $1.5 million, player development budget by $2.5 million, and we still got about $2.5 million in money available. Taking a look at our salary situation right now, we're only poised to go up by about $11 million next year, so that's a very manageable amount. And there certainly is potential with the vesting options for Ohtani and Dansby, Swanson, Samuel Basallo making around $11 million in theory in arbitration next year for us to pare some salary relatively easily. So thanks everyone for your patience. I am back from my summer vacation, rejuvenated and ready to go. So it's been a while since our last episode, but had a successful vacation with the family and going to hopefully get this episode out. Meeting our team. Got the best catcher in baseball. We've got the fourth best second baseman, and we've got the third best left fielder, although he's hurt right now, coming back from a torn UCL. Other than that, we're not good at a lot of positions, and we are in a very weird situation right now where Dansby Swanson is listed as the 31st best third baseman. That's because he's never played the position in his life. Cam Collier is going to be shifting there when Honeycutt is back, but right now we have some injuries, and we're going to try to do some funky things. Toshimitsu Kato, who's our best defensive infielder, injured. Vance Honeycutt, as we talked about, injured. Probably best all-around offensive player. And Caleb Ferguson, who we traded for in the offseason, should be an important left-handed pitcher for us, also out for another couple of weeks. So what that means in our lineup is we're going to have Dansby Swanson trying to learn third base, is a 37-year-old at the major league level. You'll remember from the offseason, if you were watching, we brought him on board to be our new shortstop after we traded away Marcelo Meyer to get that salary off our books. Unfortunately, this offseason, Swanson's defense has just fallen apart. We thought he was a 65 defensive player when we were getting ready to pick him up, and every time we scout him, he looks worse and worse. So that is not good. Don't think he can play shortstop for us this year. At least it's not ideal defensively. So our shortstop right now, with the injury to Kato, is going to be Nick Allen, who we picked up as a minor league free agent signing just over a month ago. He is still a competent defensive shortstop. You could argue he's a very good defensive shortstop. Not much of a bat, good personality. Hit .237 last year in 150 games for Colorado. It is conceivable that he is our shortstop for this season. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get Mr. Honeycutt back within the next few weeks, and that potentially will allow us to really change what we are doing in our lineup overall. Potentially move Collier back to the position we thought he would be manning for us at third base. Still think he can be an excellent defensive third baseman for us. But right now, we're going to force Swanson into that role, given that it's conceivable he just becomes a utility infielder for us this year. We're going to have to have him able to play more than a mediocre defensive shortstop for him to have any value at all for us this year. So certainly not the way we drew things up to be trying to have him learn the position at the major league level, and not even giving him any time there in spring training. Was kind of rushing to get through the last episode that I put out before I left for my time away, so didn't spend as much time digging into how horribly he had deteriorated defensively, or we probably could have given him some time at third base during spring training to make that process happen a little faster. So it's not going to be ideal for him to be our starting third baseman, but it is what it is at this point. Taking a look at our expectations, and they don't have high expectations for our Buffalo Wings, suggesting we're going to be 82-80. That would, by one game over the Reds, get us into the playoffs for a fourth consecutive season. But certainly hoping that we have a better year than that. You can see not expecting to have any of the top offensive or pitchers on our team, at least based on that simulation. And if you were paying close attention a couple screens back when we looked at our pitching staff, Ohtani, actually he can pitch today. He only did 66 pitches 5 days ago. It looks like they wanted Susanna to go. But we're going to go with Ohtani here in game number 1. He pitched 5 days ago, so he should be fine. And he's, listed at 100% rested. So we are going to continue our tradition of playing out our first game of the season, and we will get that underway right now. And it looks like a relatively even matchup here. Deshaun Seifu is our leadoff hitter, Samuel Basallo, the DH, and Takao Ota, first baseman, the only players who are viewed as better than their colleagues or competitors on the Expos. We do supposedly have a pitching advantage with Ohtani against Victor Lizarraga, although Lizarraga is a pretty darn good pitcher. So it will be interesting to see how opening day 2031 goes. The prognosticators think we're going to be struggling to be above 500. I certainly have bigger expectations for this team than that. We've got some money to spend over the course of the season if we need to fill some holes on the roster, but certainly my hope is that the pending returns of Mr. Honeycutt and Mr. Ferguson and potentially Mr. Kato will give this team a boost and hopefully ensure that we can get off to a fast start this year after a really poor and depressing end to the regular season last year. And Deshaun Seifu is ready to start off the season for Buffalo in Montreal against Victor Lizarraga. Those of you looking closely will see that we've still got the Thunderdome in Tampa Bay here and probably going to be upset with me that I haven't changed the way it looks. Looks like a fly out to right field for Mr. Seifu to get the season started. Cam Collier up for us. His first at bat with the Buffalo Wings after the big trade last offseason, and Collier walks. We're going to let Clutchman hit away here. And he drills a single between the first baseman and the second baseman. And Collier goes all the way to third, so runners on the corners with one out. And Samuel Basallo, 3 years in the majors, 3-time Silver Slugger Award winner, going against Lizarraga. And Basallo gets the season off to a good start. A 3-run home run from Basallo. Collier scores a run following his first plate appearance as a member of the Wings. Rutschman with the single, and Basallo doing what Basallo does, knocking that one out of the yard here. So a great start to the season for Buffalo at the plate. Takao Ota now up. Little dribbler to short. Looks like that will be out number 2. And Dansby Swanson making his debut now for the Wings. And a single for Swanson, so should be an upgrade offensively from what we've had at third base the last few years. But the question is how he will perform defensively, trying to learn that position at the major league level. Center fielder John Featherston up. And a little dribbler down to second. And the side is retired, but 3 runs on 3 hits for Buffalo. So a nice start to the season for us. Ohtani on the mound. Alpha Ancum leading off for the Expos. And Ancum singles to get the season underway. He's definitely got some speed, so we're going to throw over to first once. And we are going to put our infield back to double play depth and go after Wander Franco. And a stolen base for Ancum. Don't need double play depth anymore. Hopefully we can get Franco here. Do get him to ground to second, but Ancum goes to third. So runner on third base in scoring position with 1 out. We're going to go right after Jorge Arregui, and he singles up the middle to cut the gap to 3-1. Elijah Green now up. We'll go back to double play depth. Try to get out of the inning here. Not going to happen. Another single, so Ohtani does not seem to have his best stuff today. Go after Xavier Isaac, and he gives it a ride to center field, out. So 2 away. Hopefully Ohtani can get out of the inning here, going after Spencer Torkelson, grounds it to third to Dansby Swanson, makes the play in his first action as a major league third baseman. So heading to the top of the second with a 3-1 lead, Rafael Rodillo, last year Rule 5 acquisition, made the team in part due to the injury to Honeycutt. We've got to keep him up another 15 days to have his rights because he spent some time on the 60-day IL last year. So the timing of him potentially not being to be on the roster and Honeycutt being back could work out well for us. Shortstop Nick Allen, his first at-bat as a member of the Wings, and a bloop single to right field. So Allen, who definitely with his defensive skills could be in the mix to be our starting shortstop, perhaps sadly for someone who was kind of on the trash heap that we picked up to a minor league free agent contract. But that may be our best solution there unless Mr. Swanson's defense magically improves. So a runner on for Deshaun Seifu, up for the second time already here in the top of the second. Seifu gives it a ride to center field, but 2 away. And now Cam Collier, who walked and scored a run his first time up, strikes out. So relatively easy inning for the Expos. Let's see if Ohtani can have an easy inning here in the bottom of the second. Going after Jimmy Atkinson. Struck him out. William Bergola, their second baseman. Little dribbler to the pitcher's mound. Ohtani makes the throw over to Ota. And 2 away. And now the catcher, Luis Campusano, pops it out to center field for a little bloop single. So we are not going to hold Campusano. Going to go to double play depth, try to get the force at any base. And he struck out Alpha Ancum to get out of the inning. So much better second inning for both pitchers. Go to the top of the third, and Clutchman up for the Buffalo Wings. Grounds out to second. Samuel Basallo, 3-run homer, his first time up, his first at-bat of the year. Strikes out. And now Takao Ota, the first baseman, grounds out to first. So 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the third for our Buffalo Wings. Going to the bottom of the third, Ohtani, Wander Franco going to be leading off for the Expos. Another bloop single. We're going to go back to double play depth against Eragui, who had the RBI last time he was up. And it looks like a vintage double play ball, 4-6-3. So that worked out well. Ohtani now going against Elijah Green with 2 outs. And he struck him out. So the pitchers have both settled down after that first inning. We are through 3, and Buffalo holding on to that 3-1 lead. And Dansby Swanson, who singled in his first at-bat with the Buffalo Wings, leading off here in the top of the fourth. Struck him out. John Featherston, the center fielder, also struck out. Lizarraga has definitely settled down after that first inning. Rafael Rodillo struck out the side, so Lizarraga with a very good top of the fourth, and our Buffalo Wings have had only 1 hit since that first inning. Ohtani going against the number 5 hitter, Xavier Isaac. Grounds it to second. Seifu to Ota. 1 away. Spencer Torkelson now up. Grounds it to short. Play made by Allen. 2 away. And Ohtani now going after Jimmy Atkinson. And he hits it out to right, and opposite field home run, it looked like. Just made it out there, so 3-2. Going against William Bergola, the shortstop. And Ohtani walks him, so having a little trouble getting the final out here in the 4th inning. We'll go back to double play depth. Hopefully can get the catcher, Campusano. Struck him out. So Ohtani gets out of the inning, but he has allowed 6 hits and 2 earned runs over his first 4 innings this season. Nick Allen leading off here in the top of the 5th for our Buffalo Wings. Grounds it down to third, and 1 away. Seifu with his 3rd at-bat of the day. Struck out. And Cam Collier up with 2 outs now. So Lizarraga has really settled down. Collier, though, flies out to center. Thought that one might drop in. So Lizarraga has definitely settled down after that first inning. Ohtani has been teetering throughout the whole game, he seems, and he's already at 71 pitches, so this could be it for him. We'll see if we can get him through this 5th inning to qualify him for the W at least. Ohtani going against their leadoff hitter, Alpha Ankam. Looks like a pop-up to center field, handled out there by Featherston, 1 away. Wander Franco now up, and Franco flies out to center as well, so this is good. The excellent Jorge Eragui, nobody on as we try to get out of the inning. And he grounds it to short. Allen makes the throw. 3 up, 3 down for Ohtani. So a 3-2 lead for Buffalo as we head to the top of the 6th. Adley Rutschman up against Lizarraga. Struck him out. Lizarraga, 7th strikeout of the day. Basallo has a 3-run homer and a strikeout his first 2 at-bats. Strikeout number 2. And Takao Ota now up with 2 away. And a little dribbler down to third base, but at least he made contact. So Lizarraga has definitely settled down after that rough first inning. Ohtani with 81 pitches. We'll try to get another batter, at least with the right-hander, Elijah Green here. Ohtani had a pretty easy inning, only 10 pitches in the 5th. Gives up a single, so that was perhaps poorly played by us. See if we can get out of this situation. Left-hander Isaac is up. He is going to be followed by a couple of right-handers. We're going to go to double play depth. And we're going to throw to first, so we can keep Green close. We're going to pitch out. Nothing doing. Throw to first again. And now we'll go ahead and pitch to Isaac. He is running. Stole second. And that is going to cost any chance of Ohtani having the victory. Uh-oh. Looks like things are freezing up here on me, but that certainly looked like a double to the gap to me. So what exactly happened? He's on second base, so it was a double to the gap. That was kind of weird how that all went through. So Ohtani, I'm going to force him to get out of this inning. Struck out Torkelson for the first out of the inning. Going after Atkinson, the second baseman, right now. Flies out to right field for the second out of the inning. So now William Bergola, the shortstop. Let Ohtani go after him as well. Singles it. And that is going to cost us. We are now down 4-3. I got greedy, should have taken Ohtani out after 5 like I had planned. Still on vacation in my brain, and now I'm just going to force Ohtani to try to get out of this inning. Do something resembling anything, shall I? So he got the final out of the inning, but he is in line for the loss now as we've given up that entire 3-0 lead that we took early. Definitely negligence on my part, not doing what I had planned with Ohtani and taking him out after 5. But no one ever said I was smart. Swanson leading off here in the top of the 7th. Strikes out. Lizarraga is really pitching well. Featherston up here with with 1 out. Now a couple of outs. 10th strikeout of the day for Lizarraga. And Rafael Radillo with 2 outs. Finally get something going. Looks like that could be a double down the line. So 2-out double for Radillo. Hopefully we can work on chasing Lizarraga. And it looks like we have Landani Alfonseca, the right-handed pitcher. It may be time for us to pinch hit for Mr. Allen. Not going to be good for us defensively, but we are down 4-3 at this point, so we need to score some runs, but I'm going to let Allen hit. Probably every decision I'm making, I'm kind of doing like the opposite of what I'm like going George Costanza on you. I wanted to pinch hit for him. I decided not to. I wanted to pull Ohtani. I decided not to. Obviously, Ohtani is out now, and we are going to bring in Jorge Carrillo, the rookie. Actually, was a rookie last year, but the young pitcher making the roster for the first time out of spring training. The right-hander will come in, and we will see what Mr. Carrillo can do with this Montreal lineup going against their leadoff hitter, Alpha Ankam. And he tried to bunt. Strike number one. He's trying to bunt his way on. And he strikes out. Carrillo going after Wander Franco now. And Franco, looks like that'll be a fly out to center field. 2 away. And Carrillo going after Aragui now. And Aragui drills one to the gap. Looks like that could be a long single. Oh, no, it's going to be a double. So 2 outs, man on second. Aragui going after Elijah Green, and he struck him out. It wasn't Aragui, obviously. It was our pitcher who was going after him. Aragui was on second base. So Buffalo down to our final 6 outs. We've got the guy we want to lead things off, though, Deshaun Seifu. Let's see if we can get him on base here. And a walk for Seifu, and you know what that means. A walk of Deshaun Seifu is almost as good as a double. We're going to try to steal right away. And Seifu gets to second, his first stolen base of the season. Let Cam Collier hit away here. And a single up the middle, and that should be enough to tie the game with Seifu's speed. So Seifu's safe, the game tied at 4, RBI single for Cam Collier. So he's had a productive day offensively with a run scored and now a run batted in, making his debut for the Wings. Got things tied. Let's see if Rutschman can keep things going. Flies out to center field for the first out of the inning. Samuel Basallo, 3-run homer and a couple of strikeouts. Now he's struck out 3 times on the day. And Takao Ota up here with runner on first, new pitcher, Colby Holcomb. And Ota gives it a ride to center field, but we get 1 run back, so we are now tied at 4, but Carrillo's still on the mound for us, going up against Xavier Isaac. Let's see if Carrillo can give us another clean inning of relief. Fly out to center field, to Featherston. Junior Severino against Carrillo. Looks like another fly out to Featherston in center field, who's had a busy evening. So 2 away, the right-handed second baseman, Jimmy Atkinson, pops it out to right field for the 3rd out of the inning. So 3 up, 3 down in the 8th for the Expos. And we head to the 9th. Dansby Swanson, the left-handed pitcher, Mike Oliver on the mound. We are going to let Swanson swing away. And Swanson gives it a ride in his first game with the Wings. Dansby Swanson, solo home run to lead off the 9th. Perhaps we will make up for my ineptitude as a manager thanks to a blast from Dansby Swanson to get things started. So 5-4 lead now for the Wings. Featherston strikes out, chases a bad pitch. Rafael Rodillo, the left-handed left fielder, We are going to pinch hit for him. Give Vaughn Necker, the rookie, a chance for his first at-bat of the season. Pinch hitting for Rafael Radio. So the right-handed batter against the left-handed pitching Oliver. Let's see what Necker can do. Little dribbler down to second, so 2 away there. And now Nick Allen, now that we need his defense, was good that we didn't pinch hit for him last inning. Gonna let him swing away here. And he goes down looking. But we do take the lead back with the solo homer from Dansby Swanson. So we carry a 5-4 lead into the bottom of the ninth. And Mason Neville, guy that we picked in the Rule 5 draft from Washington, is better defensively than Necker, so we are going to put Neville into the game as our new left fielder. And other than that, we just have Kyron Paris and our backup catcher Josh Springer on the bench. So obviously wonder what we've got with Dansby Swanson at third base. Still doesn't even have a rating there, given that this is his first game ever. Hopefully he will not be tested too heavily. So it looks like they've got the lefty shortstop, the righty Campusano, and the righty Ankam up, but with a 5-4 lead in the ninth, kind of regardless of the matchups. We are going to go to our closer, Andres Munoz. And if I could click and drag, perhaps we could put Munoz into the game as our closer and see if we can get the final 3 outs of this game and see if between Dansby Swanson and Andres Munoz they can bail out my poor decision making. So Munoz goes to the mound. Munoz going up against the shortstop Pergola. He struck him out, so 1 away. The right-handed hitting catcher Campusano. Surprised that they're not pinch hitting at all here. But a brilliant play by Allen. Thought that was going to be through, but Nick Allen. Great diving play at shortstop, and that has us 2 up, 2 down for Munoz. Now going against Alpha Ankam, perhaps the final batter of the game today. And Ankam once again trying to bunt his way on. Just go ahead and pitch to him. And 2 strikeouts by Munoz. So Buffalo with a 5-4 win. We definitely made some tactical mistakes, not pulling Ohtani after 5. And it all worked out as that solo homer by Dansby Swanson in the top of the ninth bailed us out, and then Munoz closed things out for us. So an ugly victory, definitely negligence on my part with some of my decision making, but Buffalo still with a 5-4 win over the Expos here on opening day 2031. Take a quick look at the box score. Seifu scored a run. That walk and then the stolen base worked out. Collier 1 for 3 with a run scored and a ribby in his debut. Rutschman 1 for 4 with a run scored. Basallo 1 for 4 with a 3-run homer. Did strike out 3 times. 2 hits, including the game-winning RBI, to use an old and outdated stat that's not used before for Dansby Swanson. And then Rodillo and Nick Allen also had hits for us. Ohtani, 9 hits and 1 walk over 6 innings pitched. But Carrillo and Munoz combined for 1 hit allowed and 4 strikeouts over the final 3 innings. Carrillo gets the victory, Munoz with the save. Lizarraga ended up having a pretty good performance, 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, allowed 3 earned runs all in the first, and did strike out 10. Player of the game, Lizarraga. He was definitely good, but hard luck for him in terms of no decision here, because the Buffalo Wings came back with that run in the 8th and then the run in the 9th to take a 5-4 win over the Expos here on opening day 2031. And we'll take the W on opening day. As I talked about, the hope is we can get Honeycutt and Caleb Ferguson on rehab assignments within the next week to 2 weeks for both of them. Hopefully we'll have both of them up with us before the end of the month. Obviously hope that the torn UCL for Honeycutt doesn't have any significant impact on his ratings. He's been a very productive offensive player for us over the years. And certainly if we bring Honeycutt back into the lineup, that will potentially allow us to move Collier back to third base, and then we'll have to figure out what we want to do at shortstop with Swanson, Allen, and eventually, when he is hopefully healthy, Toshimitsu Kato. But honestly, when I look at Kato, he is very good defensively, but not much of a bat. When I look at Nick Allen, he's very good defensively, not much of a bat, but I think Nick Allen has a better major league bat than certainly Kato has right now, and perhaps Kato will ever have. So it's hard for me to imagine that Kato is going to take over as a starting shortstop when Allen is back. The question is what potentially happens to Dansby Swanson. We do have a situation where the Stars are on the hook for 60% of his contract next year if it vests. So we'd be spending about $8 million on him. But if he has this profile, I don't know that we even want that to vest. Like the captain personality, maybe we can ultimately improve his defensive versatility. He could be a pretty decent utility infielder, but at $8 million that we're paying and a $20 million salary next year, those are not numbers that you typically would be investing in a utility infielder. So pretty disappointing that his range and error ratings have just dropped off the map over this past off season, because I thought he was going to potentially be our shortstop of the near term over this season and next. We do have some help potentially coming in the organization with Tim Hull. We're playing him at third base now just to get him as diverse as possible in terms of his infield skills. Third round pick from back in 2026. Love the 70 infield range. In a perfect world for a shortstop, his error, arm, and turn 2 ratings would be a little higher, particularly the error rating in the arm. Turn double play, not as critical, but he could be the shortstop of the not-so-distant future for us. Definitely has some work to do in terms of his contact gap power, and we think he can even improve his home run power, his eye, and his avoid strikeouts a bit. But he hit .285 with 17 homers last year in Double-A, 3 for his first 16 in Triple-A this year. If we decide to move on from Swanson and not have that option vest, and I assume that because of the deficiencies in Allen and Kato's bats, that a 70 range shortstop with the potential batting profile that Hull could have could end up being our starting shortstop at some point later this season, if not next year. So we do have options to help potentially in our minor league system. Don't think Hull is a all-star or a gold glover. But given that at this point we are dealing with Kato, who's not a major league hitter, Swanson, who looks like his fielding is quickly falling off, and Nick Allen, who we signed as a minor league free agent for nothing as our potential shortstops. The opportunity for Hull could be there sooner than later if he's able to hit a little bit in AAA Albany and improve some of those batting ratings that we talked about. And even if he doesn't improve those batting ratings, there's a chance if the likes of Allen struggle this year that we'll just turn the job over to Hull at some point anyway. So a lot of interesting decisions for us as this 2031 season begins. If you've got thoughts on which direction we should go at shortstop, would love to hear them in the comment section down below. If you've got thoughts on anything else, always enjoy hearing those too. I'm sure you can give me a hard time for some of my decision making as a manager in this opening day of the season, but we got the W despite my failures, and we are one win closer to a potential playoff berth with the Wings here in 2031. Until our next episode, thanks so much for watching, and hope you have a great day.